Yo, what's up, guys? It is Bryce from Cold Cat Sports, and wow, the NFL free agency legal tampering day started off huge with this morning the Packers finalizing a deal that would send Rashawn Gary to the Cowboys for a 2027 late round fourth, which we later found out it was a fourth round pick. And now Kenny Clark and Rashawn Gary are reunited, and now the Cowboys made other moves today that we're going to talk about later. But this is huge. I love this. The Cowboys needed defensive help, and they got it. Alrighty, then we had the Miami Dolphins and the Jets making a trade in which the Jets get Minkah Fitzpatrick in exchange for a 2026 seventh-rounder from the Chargers. And then he's signing a 3-year, $40 million deal to stay with the Jets. Well, we knew he was staying with the Jets, but it was a 3-year, $40 million deal. And now this is the type of player that Aaron Glenn loves. He wants a veteran leader to have in the secondary, and this is a guy who 5-time Pro Bowl safety. He is a 5-time Pro Bowl safety. This is huge. Absolutely massive for the Jets. I love this. And the Jets made a lot of other key moves today. Alrighty. To this morning, the Rams and Trent McDuffie agreed, well, not, it was yesterday, but the Rams and Trent McDuffie agreed on a 4-year, $124 million extension, making him the highest paid corner in the NFL. And the Rams weren't done because they made other cornerback moves, which we're going to talk about later. Alrighty, instead of the Bills releasing Teron Johnson, they're trading him for a round 6 and round 7 pick swap. I think one of them is getting, I think the Bills are getting the 7th and the Jets or the Raiders are getting the 6th. But good secondary pieces for the Raiders. And the Raiders were huge players in free agency today. And they're not done still. Yes, the Texans finally actually keep their offensive line intact and don't trade a tackle because Ed Ingram stays on a 3-year, $37.5 million deal. And C.J. Stroud needs all the help on the offensive line he can get, because we have seen the last 2 years he has been getting absolutely destroyed. So this is great. Now the Texans need to add more. They need to add 2 other tackles. This is just going to be a wild offseason for Houston. He's back. He's back. He's back. That's all I could say. Yes. Seattle. Why do you do this? Why do you let him go? Because he signed with Kansas City. Kenneth Walker did. The reigning Super Bowl MVP, who is 26, is going to Kansas City. 3 years, $43.05 million with $28.7 million guaranteed. The Chiefs dynasty's back. I said this on the podcast, and they got Eric Bieniemy, and now they get a running back. And so, yeah, no, this is... But Kansas City lost. They have no corners left. But other things happened. Their secondary got depleted this offseason. Quite frankly, I love it because former Kansas City corner Jalen Watson is going to the Rams for a 3-year, $51 million deal with $34 million guaranteed. Good. Kansas City, you deserve everything that's coming to you. While I get it was necessary for Michael Pittman to be traded after the Alec Pierce signing, it still sucks. Michael Pittman is a guy who I love, and I get he's not the greatest separator of the football, but you know what he does? He catches passes, he moves the chains, and he will get you touchdowns. Go be great in Pittsburgh. My other team gets even stronger. The best pass rusher on the market is going to Carolina. 4 years, $120 million with $80 million guaranteed. Yes, he has his injury concerns. Yes, he's torn his ACL 3 times since college. But I don't care about any of that. Jalen Phillips is a game wrecker. And if he can stay healthy, the Panthers are probably going to the Super Bowl next year. Laremy Tunsil, 3 years, $60.2 million. This is great. Yes, he's older, but he's still one of the premier left tackles in the entire league. Joseph Osai goes to the Jets for a 3-year, $36 million deal with $22.5 million guaranteed. The Jets' pass rush is getting scary because they also got Kingsley Enagbare, who I don't think we're going to talk about this because it's not that much of it because it was 1 year, $10 million. And if he doesn't work out, they just let him go next year. But this is huge. They're still going to draft Darvell Reese with 2, I think. And then they still have another first, and they have 2 seconds. They're going to have 3 firsts next year, 2 seconds next year. The Jets, they're looking good. Minkah Fitzpatrick and Joseph Ossai, and they still made more moves. Oh, yeah. The Steelers signed Michael Pittman to a 3-year, $59 million extension. Go be great in Pittsburgh. But this is what mostly I'm going to talk about because the damn Titans. Alontae Taylor, Cordell Flott, JFM, Wandale, Daniel Bellinger. I'm not counting Mitch Trubisky. He's the backup. Can the Titans just stop getting better? Robert Saleh, Brian Dable, and then this free agency class. And then the Colts' only other move outside of trading away Michael Pittman and signing Alec Pierce is to take the Titans' depth defensive edge rusher. This was arguably the biggest move of the day, in which the Raiders made a huge splash in not just signing Tyler Linderbaum to a 3-year, $81 million deal with $60 million guaranteed. They also signed Jalen Nailor to a 3-year, $35 with $23 million guaranteed. The Raiders are making moves. They are making moves to build around Fernando Mendoza. You see that when they're bolstering their offensive line, which is something they didn't do last year with Geno Smith. And then they're getting a receiver upgrade, which is another thing they didn't do with Geno Smith last year. So the Raiders could potentially be making big splashes next year. Mike Evans going to San Francisco on a 3-year, $60.4 million deal. I never thought I would see the day. Never thought I would see the day when the NFC South unofficially belongs to the Carolina Panthers. Never thought I would see the day. But here we are. First time since 2015, the NFC South will not have Mike Evans. The Saints got better. The Falcons get better. You could argue maybe not. But the Bucs get worse. This has been the 4 of the last 5 NFC South titles that belong to the Panthers, or the Bucs. Not anymore. It's Panther time, the NFC South. The Browns made a huge splash by signing Zion Johnson, former Charger, to a 3-year, $49.5 million deal. So they have dished out over $100 million this year on their offensive line for whoever their quarterback is next year, whether it be Shedeur, whether it be Deshaun Watson, whether it be Ty Simpson. It definitely can't be Malik Willis now, but whoever the hell it is, their left side of the line is going to be set. Odafe Oweh goes to the Commanders. 4 years, $100 million with $68 million guaranteed. The NFC South is going, or the NFC East is going to be a bloodbath next year. Not as much as the AFC North. Not as much as the AFC North, because Boye Mafe is going to Cincinnati for a 3-year, $60 million deal. So the edge rushers now in the AFC North, Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, and Boye Mafe. If you are a quarterback in the AFC North, you might want to think about leaving. Sorry, Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. Ha, ha, see, I told you, the Chiefs are getting decimated in their secondary. Ha, 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 screw you, Chiefs. Good signing, Cincinnati. Boye Mafe and Brian Cook, they're cooking. They might be cooking. Oh, yeah, Travis Etienne went to the Saints as well for a 4-year, $52 million deal. Great signing for the Saints.